If you walk in and you have $500, right? And you start playing with $500 and you win $500, get the fuck out of there. Leave. You just doubled your money, okay? Well, what do you think you're gonna do? You're gonna sit there and win $1 million fucking dollars? I promise you, you're not, okay? I'm not there to have fun, and I don't want their fucking liquor, and I don't want to fuck. I'm there to win. So I bet as high as they will let me bet. And if I bet $75,000 and I win 2 fucking hands, I leave.
Are casinos rigged? Hell yeah. Every single casino in the world is rigged. Now, when I say rigged, I don't mean like they flick a switch and the cards just go their way, or they got somebody working in the back room and they got the software to change the cards around at this perfect time. No, not rigged like that. I mean rigged as in the system itself is already rigged. Every slot machine, every card table, every game that you even look at when you walk in a casino, everything is already rigged to where the game is already in their favor to win long term. Rigged just means it's not a good, even playing field. That's all rigged means. It's not an even playing field. So there's only 2 ways to beat the casino. That's it. One way, you better learn how to card count. Everybody love to play blackjack. Cool. Everybody having fun, enjoying themselves. It's entertainment. All right, that's cool and all. But you better believe it's business for them. Them casinos, every person that walks through the door, it is not fun and games for you to come and win or have a good chance. It is strictly business for you to lose and them to gain profit. So I suggest you treat it the same way. You better come in with some sort of edge on any game that you play, especially blackjack. Blackjack is the worst odds of every game in the casino by far. If you know how to card count, then you have one up on them. It's not illegal. It's just frowned upon. And if you do card count, well, eventually you're going to get kicked out because they can tell when you're card counting. It's pretty easy to tell. And if you don't card count, then you just lose. Simple as that. But I go to the casino and I win. Nah, you might win here and there. Of course, everybody wins here and there, but nobody wins long term. I don't care who you are. I've never met a person that retired from winning at the casino too much. I've never seen a person ever. So one way to beat the casino, you better learn how to card count or get some type of competitive edge in whatever game it is you like to play. The other way to beat the casino, stay out of there. That's it. Don't go. Stop gambling. Stop playing. Don't walk in the casino. Stop placing sports bets. That's how you beat a casino. Remember, they need us. We don't need them. We go on our own will, but we really don't need the casino. I hate casinos. I hate the board members who approve it. I hate the states that approve it. I think casinos should only be in Vegas, and that's it. Because they really kill the economy. They hurt the people's pockets over and over and over and over. Even though we walk in on our own, still, the state approves it for one reason: taxes. That's it. They get a large amount from the taxes. That's why they approve casinos to be in their city or in their state. That's the only reason. They know you're going to lose, but what? They still approve it anyway, knowing that they got the advantage on you. Sickening to me. Anyway, check this guy out. He's a professional card counter, and that's how he gets the edge for him to win. You better find your own edge in whatever game it is. Run a clip.
I'm Colin from Blackjack Apprenticeship. I've played professionally and I've run teams responsible for being casinos for roughly $4 million. And I'm going to introduce you to Joe the Gambler. Joe the Gambler wants to know that while he's had winning nights, why is he just so unlucky at the blackjack tables? But before I answer it, why don't you put below in the comments the first thing that comes to mind, and then we'll see if you're right. Usually Joe the Gambler has several theories, but misses the big one. When you have a better hand than the dealer, you win. When the dealer has a better hand than you lose. When you have the same hand, you push. Nobody wins or loses. But what happens when both you and the dealer bust? You still lose. You see, the game is designed in a way to have a built-in disadvantage against the player. And that isn't enough for the casinos. As some smart players figure out how to use some of the rules to their advantage, casinos then limit or remove those rules. Here's an example. Back in the day, Atlantic City had a rule called early surrender, which meant that you could give up half of your bet if you didn't like your hand before the casino even checked to see if they had a blackjack. A very small percentage of people learned how to play that game so that they had the advantage because of that rule. What did the casinos do? They removed the rule.
It was around the beginning of December of '79. They accidentally gave the player the option to surrender before the dealer checked for blackjack. Everybody just played as many hours as they possibly could, because every day there was a rumor, this will be the last day. Yeah. How long can this go on? We increased our bankroll in 13 days from 40 to 100,000. One day, resorts actually had a losing day, in the casino.
Same thing with single deck with 3-2 on a blackjack, or dealers standing on a soft 17. The casinos are removing the rules that are better for the player so they can keep a larger edge against the player. Now, there are hands where the player has an advantage against a dealer. Imagine you have an 11 against a dealer 6. You can double down, and that gives you a 67% advantage on that hand. But then again, the casinos limit our double downs. You can only double down on your first 2 cards. You can only double down to the amount that you originally bet. All of this stuff, the casino knows what they're doing. The same thing with splits. Casinos know that a pair of aces is good for the player, so some casinos won't even let you split a pair of aces. Other casinos you can split, but you only get 1 card, you can't hit to it, you can't double down. They limit you to their advantage. There's another hand that gives the player a huge advantage. Can you think of it? It's a blackjack. If the dealer gets a blackjack, we lose our bet. But if we get one, we get more than our bet on a blackjack, usually 1.5 times our original bet. But the casino wants more of Joe's money, so they've started installing 6 to 5 blackjack tables so they can get as much out of you as possible. It's incredibly important for Joe to know that the casinos do not want winners, so they're going to set up the game in a way to try to limit players from ever beating them. But Joe is not a victim. He's done research and has come up with a plan. One time at a table Joe was playing at, a player came up with a strategy to counteract the fact that the player loses when both he and the dealer bust. Joe was playing proper basic strategy, but this other player, whenever he got a hand that could cause him to bust, he would stay on it, and he was winning. This actually comes from a true story of someone that I was training at blackjack, and he came to me and said, is this a viable strategy? Can I just not hit hands where I might bust so that I can beat the casino by letting them bust? No. It turns out you lose money 8 times faster with the no bust strategy compared to basic strategy. This is one of the worst strategies anyone tries to employ at a blackjack table in a casino. We break down all the math in another video, but just because someone was winning in the short term with it does not mean it's sustainable, and you are guaranteed to lose your money way faster using this strategy than not using it. But Joe's not trying to be greedy at the tables. He just wants to win a little bit every time he goes to the casino. So his new plan is to quit while he's ahead. This is an interesting strategy that I hear a lot. Plenty of people, when you're playing at the casino, you're up at some point, but then if you keep playing, you lose it back and then some, and you're thinking, I just need to quit while I'm ahead. The interesting thing is the odds of being up something like 3 bets is about 75%. You can quit while you're ahead a few bets and simply not come back. But the thing is, you have to never come back. What if you come back to the casino on another day and just try to do this again? The second time you come back, if you try to be up another 3 bets, then that's actually trying to be up 6 bets. Try to do it a third time, that's being up 9 bets. The cards at the table don't care when you start and stop again. You can't trick the odds into forgetting about you. Saying you want to always win just a few bets every time you go to the casino is saying you want to have an infinitely large winning streak. It's statistically not possible. Every hand of blackjack you play is increasing towards this long run of the odds working out. And like we already said, the odds are stacked against you. Not to be dissuaded, Joe has heard other things like progressive betting, making sure you're always playing with quality players at the table, finding dealers that are busting, and making sure you don't mess up the flow of the cards. But none of these stand up against the mathematics of the game. Now we're back to square one. It's all rigged. But there is a glitch in the matrix. Depending on the rules and conditions, there is a strategy based on math and logic that is perfectly legal and it works. Like I said earlier, I've run teams responsible for being casinos for millions of dollars, and we did it with card counting. It's not easy, casinos do not like it, but it does work.
So y'all remember in blackjack when you could surrender when you got a 16 and then they took that out? That's crazy. Any and every little advantage that the players get, the casinos know to take that out every single time. I love seeing when players win. I love seeing the house lose. Love it, because they always got the advantage on the players. I love to see when the players take advantage of the house. I've never got to sit down next to somebody who does card counting. I wish I have, but I've never got to see it in person, somebody win big from card counting. But I've got to see it on YouTube. Check this player out, and he shows you in depth what happens when you card count.
We appreciate you to play blackjack. Okay. All right.
But we all going to be trespassing you, so I suggest that you catch anything on that guy with me.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of my life as an advantaged blackjack player. Once again, we're back in Las Vegas and I've got a ton of action for you today. In my last video, I played at Palace Station, Gold Coast, and the Strat. We got off to a bit of a rocky start, losing $2,300 at Palace Station, but I was able to turn it around at the next two spots and finish the day with a profit of $4,500. I was hoping to keep that momentum going in today's sessions. As most of you probably know, I'm playing blackjack and using the high-low counting system to bet higher when I have an advantage over the house. I made a video explaining how the system works. It's linked in the description and you guys can check it out if you want. As I stated in my last video, these sessions took place at the end of my Vegas trip. This means my name had been circulating around the Vegas properties, and casinos I'd already visited had been warning others that I may pay them a visit as well. Which is honestly hilarious. These casinos that pull massive profits year after year will go out of their way to warn their direct competition that a card counter may come by and generate a couple $1,000s of EV. How scary. With my name being hot and my picture floating around at the different casinos, I wasn't expecting to get much time. The first location I decided to hit in this video was the famous Caesars Palace. There's a couple of decent games they offer here, but I was specifically targeting the main floor 6 deck. I made my way in there, found my table, and began playing. The minimum bet was $50, so I started playing that until I got into a positive count.
How you doing, sir? Good, you? Good. My name's I'm casino manager. We're going to finish this time. We're going to catch you out. We no longer want your business. That's it. That was split up.
At least we get to have some fun on the last one.
There you go.
One more 10. Look at that.
Look. Look.
Thank you. Have a good night.
We don't going to be trespassing you, so I suggest that you catch anything on the guy with you.
Is that enough?
Yep.
675.
You have an ID with you, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a good ID.
So you'll be trespassed from anything that Caesars owns. Any other company, obviously, I'm not control of. Excellent. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, let's go. You are. Thank you.
Do you have a room here at Caesar Palace? Do you have a room here at Caesar Palace? Okay. I'm going to ask you to depart property. Just so you know, per management, they're asking you to trespass you this afternoon to come back. Yeah. I am to ask you for your passport. You do not have to give it to me.
Verbal trespass.
No problem with me. Would you please depart from property?
Well, as you can see, that didn't last very long. I had to show ID when I sat down so they immediately knew who I was, and before I even got to raise my bets, I was asked to leave. I had never played here before, so obviously they don't take well to people who have the ability to beat their games. I played a whopping 8 minutes, my hourly EV was $478, and I left with a profit of $225.
Ain't it crazy how casinos love to kick you out when they see that you got an advantage? But when you keep losing, oh, you can stay all day. You can come back tonight, tomorrow. Casinos is open 24 hours for a reason. Because it's all long-term gain for them. They don't care if they pay you out some one day or today you hit for 100, 1,000, even 10 grand. So what? To them, that's basically a loan because they know you're going to come back. And when you do come back, well, they're going to take that and more every single time. So when you do win, I hope that you go buy you something nice with it. I really do. Because if you keep it and come back, you know, like I know, you're going to lose that plus more. Now, some of y'all who are in the gaming industry, gambling industry, I should say, some of y'all might remember this dude, Mickey Mace, right? Kind of a loose end. A lot of stuff he says is just stupid to me. But every now and then he drops a nugget. Every now and then. But most stuff is just dumb. Such as,
I'm going into the casino. I want to win. Mm-hmm. What games do I avoid? What games do I play?
Your goal is to win, right?
Yeah.
You avoid all the carnival games. You know what that means?
Slots?
Yeah, avoid slots.
Roulette?
A single zero roulette, like you're okay, but it depends how you're betting. If you're just picking your favorite numbers of you and your girl's birthdays, like
that's what I do.
Yeah, you got nothing going there. You're just hoping. You're just praying for luck.
And if you tip them, you think they could spin the ball so it lands in the thing?
I know they can.
No fucking way.
Let me give you an example. Ready?
The thing's going this way, counterclockwise, and the ball's going the other way.
Yeah. All right, ready? Check this out. Pretend I'm Steph Curry, right? What do I do every day, all day, 6-7 days a week for my whole life? You ready?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now imagine for 30 years, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, I'm doing this.
Yeah, but sometimes Steph misses.
Sure.
You know?
Of course.
But you can aim at that spot to where it's down to like 3-4 numbers. Like
of course. Wow. I have a video with an old roulette dealer. The guy's like 80 years old. He's retiring. And I have a video and he talks about it.
Or
what exactly is it about Baccarat that gives you an advantage, you feel?
It was easier to decipher how the casino was rigging the game Baccarat than it was the other games. Like, Blackjack, you can, like, I know how they rig the games in Blackjack, and there's, like, numerous ways, but they're sort of harder to work around than Baccarat. Baccarat was, like, very cut and dry. They've changed a lot of the systems since I started exposing them for the way that they were setting the game up. But in the beginning, when I came in, they had, like, one standard way that they would rig the game. It worked for them. It made sense.
Okay, give me an example. When you say rig the game, how do they rig the game? How do you rig a card game like Baccarat?
I can't say too much. I'll give you an example that I've already put on the air one time. So I went to go play at a casino that I was regularly playing high stakes at. Actually, whatever. So I was playing there. And I pull up, and the Baccarat tables are different. The new felt, new rail, new computer monitor. I don't know if you know Baccarat, but there's like a monitor at every table that represents the data of all the cards that came out already.
Okay.
Everything was new. And I looked at the monitor, and there was like this section of graphs that I've never seen before. And I played so much Baccarat. I'm like, how have I never seen this? So I says to the dealer, I says, do you know what that means? The dealer says, no, I don't. I says to the dealer at the Baccarat table next door, I says, do you know what this means? She says, no, I don't. I said, floor, do you know what this means? The floor says, I don't know what it means. We're still learning the system. We haven't got training. And I'm thinking, like, that's so weird. Like, why would you just make up like a weird graph? I go, no problem. I'm gonna play and figure it out. So I play the first hand. Whatever I bet, banker play or whatever. I won the first hand. Cool. I bet again second hand. Second hand comes out and I lose. I probably, let's pretend I bet player. I don't know what I actually bet. I bet banker player. If I bet player, banker came out natural 9, so I lost. Oh, no good. No sweat. Like, all good. I lost one hand. So I go to look up at the monitor to try to, like, make sense of what I'm looking at to gauge what I think I should bet for the third hand. The monitors are displaying the bank 2 cards and the player 2 cards that are on the table. Now, I lost natural 9, and I forget exactly what the cards were, but it was like 5-4 was on the table, right? And I look up at the monitor, and I just noticed that it says 7 deuce. So I go, wait a second. I go, the monitor knows that I lost to a bank natural 9. Doesn't know how the natural 9 was made, so it made up any data it wanted and then gave that to me as fact. I go, then the monitor is making up every piece of information along the whole way and the whole time portraying to me as fact. And if I'm actually using that monitor to compile the data to make my hand of the next probability, and the board is lying to me, the monitor is all fabricated, then everything's a lie. And the casino's lying to me. They're cheating me through fake data. So I said, nobody touch the cards, nobody touch anything. I need to talk to an executive. So I bring an executive down. I got caught you cheating. She goes, oh yeah, how? I go, I lost to a natural 9, 5-4. Your board's telling me 7 deuce. It's making up all the data it wants. It's misguiding me. It's misrepresenting data that's going to make me lose. And she says, you have 30 minutes to pack your bags and get out.
Huh. Okay, because you didn't have a 7-2?
No, I had a 5-4.
Oh, okay.
The real cards were still on the table. Said 5-4. The monitor says I had a 7 deuce. Now, some of y'all saying, CEO, that's why I don't play casino games. I don't play table games. I don't play the slots. I do sports. I do sports betting, and I'm making good money from it. Bruh, knock it off. Knock it off. I don't care if you found a YouTuber that you can pay, and they say, hey, man, I got all the winning games. These are my favorite bets. All trash. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care how much money they flaunt, how many private planes they try to act like they jumping on. Sports betting is a losing bet, just like anything else in gambling. Now, for the people who do their research and try to get a competitive edge on sports betting, they're out there, and they usually get banned. Such as this guy who did everything right, studied, read all the books that he need to, placed the bet on their platform. He doesn't make the spreads. The casinos make the spreads. He just puts in his bets. That's it. For this man to win and not get paid, but they kept all his losing bets. They kept all the money from all the money that he lost. Hundreds and hundreds of tickets. But the ones that he won, they said, nah. Check this out.
Tonight, a fascinating tale of a 20-something suburban man who won $800,000 in sports bets. He traveled as far as Iowa to place his bets. Then when it came time to cash in, the casino said, no way. Our Suzanne Lemonnier is listening to this would-be winner and gives us an inside look at the life of a professional gambler.
These are the winners. I'm holding, theoretically, or what should be $800,000 in my hand.
We meet 24-year-old Thomas McPeak in the home he shares with his parents. An area in their house is a shrine to their favorite teams.
You researched, you've read every single one of these books.
Yeah, this was a calculated attack, I guess you could say, where I thought I had an edge.
This refers to stacks and stacks of sports bets placed last year. Complicated wagers on football called parlays, where several events all have to happen to win. First stop, Horseshoe Casino in Hammond in August.
You went in with $30,000.
Roughly over the course of 1 week-ish.
And your wins were $350,000?
$350,000.
The next stop, the Isle Casino in Bettendorf, Iowa in September. Both locations happen to be owned by Caesars.
I take about $20,000. I sat at the kiosk for 4 hours just punching in my bets. Bet after bet after bet after bet after bet.
McPeak looks for wagers where he believes the odds are in his favor.
If you want to take a look at that notebook.
McPeak does extensive research, some of it laid out here in his handwriting. Over time, he and other professional gamblers believe they can gain an edge, but it's hardly a slam dunk.
It's not like I can just snap my fingers and just make the bets win. They still have to win.
Most of the tickets did not win.
In my hands right now, these are all losers.
But a few of the tickets were winners, big time.
And I won $350,000.
But they won't pay it to you.
No, they will not.
McPeak tells us Caesars voided the tickets when he tried to get his cash in October. He says he was referred to the house rules.
Do you think that's fair?
Of course not.
A similar story when he returned to the Iowa casino this January to collect $450,000 for these winning tickets. This time, he was given a printed sheet highlighting structuring or anti-money laundering rules and repeat wagering policies.
You want to fly under the radar?
I want to fly under the radar.
McPeak, like many so-called advantage players, go out of their way to remain anonymous. McPeak places a lot of smaller bets at a kiosk instead of one big one with a clerk at the counter to avoid his bets being rejected. Listen to the lengths he'll go to.
I'll switch up to the disguise, sunglasses. I'll hide my hair in my hat. I'll put it up in a bun.
Horseshoe and Hammond banned McPeak and voided his wagers. That's in contrast to FanDuel and Blue Chip Casino in Michigan City, which also banned McPeak after a big win. But Blue Chip paid him first.
They paid me a check of $127,000. They got beat. I won the bets.
McPeak took his gripes to state gambling regulators in both Indiana and Iowa. Neither state sided with him.
What would this $800,000 payday mean for you?
It's an insane amount of money.
Pay that man. I hate casinos. Now, not everybody is for casinos opening in their city. You know why? Because anytime a casino opens up in your city, it makes the economy go down because everybody's losing, is what it is. That's why places like Texas is winning, Georgia winning. A lot of the states that don't have no casinos, that's all the money that they can use to keep it going within the city, the state. And that's why casinos ultimately really aren't good for anybody. Like I said, I think it should only be open in Vegas or in the state of Nevada, period. I think that's the only place casinos should be at legally. But what do I know? That's just my suggestion. You'll see some people even shouting, screaming, really going at it when it comes to the state board trying to sign off to approve these casinos in their city. Not everybody is for it.
Tonight at 11, outcry over a casino. Tonight's Danville City Council meeting ends in a shouting match.
No one spoke before the vote at the meeting to support legislation for a proposed casino, but as 10 News reporter Colter Anstad shows us, afterward wasn't as quiet.
When the gavel came down to signal the end of tonight's city council meeting, council members had unanimously voted to support a bill in the General Assembly that would allow residents in Bristol, Danville, and Portsmouth to vote whether or not they're willing to allow a casino in their respective cities. After the meeting, a resident confronted Councilman Sherman Saunders, and the two nearly got into a shouting match.
You will not make me believe anything differently than I already know. I'm just trying to make this point clear. You will not make me feel anything differently than I already feel, okay, and what I believe. As simple as that. And that's the end of the conversation. The end of conversation.
Prior to tonight's vote, each council member spoke, explaining their reasoning for supporting the proposed state legislation. Mayor Alonzo Jones also noted that tax revenue from a casino could help cover the $126 million he says the school district needs for school upgrades. Without the casino revenue, taxes would have to go up.
City manager, how much, if we was to accept what the school board presented to us, what would be the tax base for our community?
We'd have to increase taxes 31.4
If the proposed state legislation passes, Danville residents will get to vote in November if they want a casino or not.
All right, man, I told y'all already. There's only 2 ways to beat the casino. There's no other way to beat the casino, sports bets, or anything that involves gambling. 1, find a competitive edge. Might get kicked out, but so what? You're not there for fun. You're there for business. That's how I would approach it if I was you. The other way to beat the casino, stay out. Stop gambling. Do not give them none of your money at all. They need your money. You don't need them. They need you. Without you, their doors close. Simple as that. So for all my people who've been losing over the years and years and years and years of gambling, it might be time for some things to change around. You know what I'm saying? Turn a new leaf, start a new life. So what? All the money that you lost, charge it to the game. Ain't no point to keep losing more, waiting for that jackpot to hit that's going to come your way. That's probably never going to come. Let it go. They got that. Is what it is. Or find a competitive edge. Hey, it's the CEO signing off. Check out this next video. And yeah, that's how we rocking. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. You already know what's up. What's happening, CEO?